UVA names Paul Mahoney interim president. Community reacts to leadership change. Change is often met with a mix of excitement and apprehension, especially when it involves leadership at one of the nation's most prestigious universities. At the University of Virginia, UVA, the recent appointment of an interim president has sparked conversation, curiosity, and even some concerns among students, faculty, and alumni. The decision to bring in Paul Mahoney, a seasoned professor and former dean of UVA's law school, has set the stage for what promises to be a pivotal chapter in the institution's history. But here's where it gets controversial. Not everyone feels confident about how this transition is unfolding. Was the process transparent enough? Did the community truly have a say? These are the questions many are asking. The announcement came during a special meeting held by UVA's Board of Visitors on a Monday morning. After roughly 2 hours of closed-door deliberation, the board officially named Paul Mahoney as the university's interim president, effective August 11th. This means he will step into the role previously held by acting president J.J. Wagner Davis, while the search for a permanent successor continues. For those unfamiliar with Mahoney, his academic credentials are impressive. Over 3 decades at UVA Law, including 8 years as its dean from 2008 to 2016. His experience extends beyond teaching. He's also made significant contributions as a lawyer, scholar, and public servant. In a statement following his appointment, Mahoney expressed gratitude for the opportunity to lead the university through this transitional period. I am honored and humbled to serve as the interim president of the University of Virginia, he wrote. He went on to emphasize the importance of shared governance, academic freedom, and student self-governance, principles that form the bedrock of UVA's identity. While these words may resonate with some members of the community, others remain skeptical about whether the selection process aligned with those ideals. One key detail missing from the meeting was an explanation from the board regarding their rationale for choosing Mahoney. Rector Rachel Sheridan later released a statement highlighting feedback collected from small group listening sessions and an online nomination portal. She noted that this input played a critical role in identifying someone capable of leading UVA forward. According to Sheridan, Mahoney's deep ties to the university and proven track record make him the ideal candidate to guide the institution during this uncertain time. However, transparency, or the perceived lack thereof, remains a sticking point for many stakeholders. Clay Dickerson, president of UVA's Student Council, acknowledged being pleased that the interim and permanent searches wouldn't overlap, but voiced interest in learning more about the specifics of the selection process. I think who he is matters less than what he does, Dickerson remarked, adding that he looks forward to collaborating with Mahoney. Still, he admitted wanting clarity on which candidates received the most nominations via the online portal, and where Mahoney stood among them. Faculty concerns echo similar sentiments. Jerry Seidman, chair of UVA's Faculty Senate, welcomed the appointment but reminded readers of the resolution passed on July 11th calling for an interim leader with qualities like inclusivity, collaboration, and dedication to the university's mission. Seidman expressed optimism about working with Mahoney, citing his accomplishments as law school dean. However, Ian Mullins, a sociology professor and member of the faculty committee with United Campus Workers of Virginia, raised alarms about the broader implications of the board's approach. They feel like there's a need for more transparency, Mullins explained, noting widespread dissatisfaction among faculty regarding the handling of community feedback. Adding another layer of complexity, the resignation of former President Jim Ryan under pressure from a federal agency looms large over this entire process. Some view this external intervention as a threat to UVA's autonomy and integrity, fueling demands for greater openness moving forward. As the board prepares to launch the formal search for Ryan's replacement in late August or early September, tensions could escalate further. The timeline, a 4 to 6 month window, is already drawing criticism from faculty who believe rushing the process risks compromising quality and inclusivity. What makes this situation particularly intriguing is the delicate balance between tradition and modern expectations. On one hand, UVA prides itself on principles like shared governance and academic freedom. On the other, critics argue that recent events have exposed cracks in how those principles are upheld. Should the university prioritize speed or thoroughness in finding its next leader? Is the current level of engagement with faculty, staff, and students sufficient? And how can UVA ensure that future decisions reflect the diverse voices within its community? These are the kinds of thought-provoking questions that deserve your input. Do you agree with the board's choice of interim president? Are you satisfied with the level of transparency throughout this process? Or do you believe changes are needed to restore trust and accountability? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. UVA appoints interim president amid controversy and resignation fallout. In a significant turn of events, the University of Virginia, UVA, has appointed Paul G. Mahoney, a seasoned law professor, as its interim president, following the resignation of the previous president, James E. Ryan. This change comes in the wake of considerable pressure from the Trump administration, which has raised questions about the university's admissions practices and its commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI initiatives. The university's board convened on a Monday to deliberate on the selection of both interim and permanent leadership during this challenging period for the institution located in Charlottesville. UVA is currently under scrutiny due to a Justice Department investigation that alleges racial bias in its admissions process and a perceived failure to fully eliminate DEI programs, among other serious claims. James E. Ryan stepped down from his role in June, citing a desire to avoid conflict with federal authorities. His resignation has sparked a wave of concerns regarding transparency and the potential influence of the governing board in his decision to leave. State Senator R. Craig Deeds, who represents the Charlottesville area, expressed his concerns by sending a letter to the board leaders, containing nearly 50 inquiries about their interactions with external legal counsel, discussions with state and federal officials, and other circumstances surrounding Ryan's exit. The citizens of Virginia deserve clarity on whether political interference, external pressures, or undisclosed discussions contributed to the resignation of the university's president, Deeds stated. Mahoney's appointment was revealed after a lengthy closed-door meeting that lasted over 2 hours, and he is set to officially assume his role on August 11th. In his statement, Mahoney expressed his gratitude and commitment to the university community, saying, "I am honored and humbled to serve as the interim president of the University of Virginia, and to support the extraordinary students, faculty, staff, alumni, and parents who make this institution great. As a longtime member of this community, I care deeply about UVA's education, research, and patient care mission, and look forward to continuing that important work together." Having been a faculty member since 1990, Mahoney previously held the position of Dean of UVA's Law School from 2008 to 2016. He took on this role during the onset of the 2008 financial crisis and is credited with steering the school through that tumultuous time with a steady and composed approach, as noted by the current dean, Leslie Kendrick. Mahoney's academic focus includes law and economic development, corporate finance, securities regulation, financial derivatives, and contracts. He is recognized as a conservative scholar and has voiced criticism regarding securities regulation. Before his tenure at UV, Mahoney gained experience by clerking for Judge Ralph K. Winter, Jr., a conservative figure on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit, as well as for Justice Thurgood Marshall, a liberal icon on the U.S. Supreme Court. Carl Tobias, a law professor at the University of Richmond, remarked, "I believe he possesses the gravitas and judgment necessary to navigate this challenging period for the university." During the board meeting, members highlighted that they had conducted several listening sessions with faculty, students, and staff prior to Mahoney's appointment. Community members consistently expressed the need for a leader who could foster stability, rebuild trust, and uphold academic freedom, while safeguarding research and teaching. Rachel Sheridan, the board rector, emphasized, in the spirit of UVA's shared governance model, we took these qualities and characteristics to heart in identifying the right person to shepherd UVA forward during this time. We are confident that Paul's long-standing connection to the university as a faculty member and dean of the law school, along with his extensive achievements as a lawyer, professor, and public servant, make him the ideal leader to guide this institution as we begin the search for our 10th president. The board reported that it received an impressive 599 nominations for 143 potential candidates for the presidency between July 15th and July 25th. While 5 individuals garnered more than 30 nominations, it remains unclear how many recommendations Mahoney received for the interim position. Additionally, UVA has formed a 28-member search committee tasked with finding a permanent leader. The board anticipates that the search process will commence in late August or early September and is expected to take between 4 to 6 months. This situation raises important questions about the intersection of politics and education. How much influence should external forces have on university governance? What does this mean for the future of academic freedom at UVA? We invite you to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. University of Virginia appoints Paul G. Mahoney as interim president. A major leadership shakeup is underway at the University of Virginia, and it's already sparking debate across campus. On Monday, the UVA Board of Visitors made a pivotal announcement. Paul G. Mahoney, a respected professor and former dean at the School of Law, will step in as the university's interim president starting August 11th. But here's where it gets controversial. Some are questioning whether Mahoney's deep roots in the law school and his long tenure at UVA make him the ideal choice to guide the entire university through this transitional period. Let's break down what's happening. The Board of Visitors, UVA's governing body, convened a special meeting to select a temporary leader as the search for the university's 10th permanent president begins. Their decision? Paul G. Mahoney, a David and Mary Harrison Distinguished Professor who has been shaping minds at the law school since 1990. Mahoney's resume is impressive. He served as dean from 2008 to 2016, held multiple leadership roles, and is widely recognized for his contributions as a lawyer, educator, and public servant. Rachel Sheridan, the board's rector, emphasized that Mahoney was chosen in line with UVA's tradition of shared governance, a model that values input from faculty, students, and staff. We believe Paul's long-standing connection to UVA, combined with his leadership experience and commitment to our core values, make him the right person to lead us forward, Sheridan said. She also expressed gratitude to J.J. Davis, the university's executive vice president and chief operating officer, who has been acting president since Jim Ryan's sudden resignation in June. A move that itself stirred controversy amid reports of political pressure. Mahoney, for his part, called the appointment an honor and pledged to uphold UVA's mission in education, research, and patient care. I am deeply committed to supporting the extraordinary students